This 2017 question 2. Based on the looks of this is an accumulation problem. We have two rates here, bananas being removed at a rate of, and store employees adding bananas at a rate of. Okay, so here we go. How many pounds of bananas are removed, so specifically removed from the display table during the first 2 hours? So if you want to find an amount, okay, remember this right here is the rate at which the bananas are being removed. So if you want to find out the amount of bananas that are being removed, you just have to integrate f of t to get rid of the rate, and you're going to go from 0 to 2. That's a quick plug and chug. You should get 20.051. Okay. I believe in the scoring guidelines, they wrote it in a sentence. You really don't have to. Okay. Part B, find f prime of 7. Very easy to do. This should be your y1 there. You would just go to math 8, d over dx, math trace, alpha trace y1, evaluate that at 7. Okay, you should get negative 8.120 or 0.119 if you truncate. But here they also talk about the meaning of, okay? So let's back this one up a little bit. Here, the derivative came out negative. What are the implications with the function? Okay, so we go back to graph analysis. When the derivative is negative, the function is decreasing. Okay? Now, what the heck is f, right? Go back to f. The f is already a rate. The rate at which customers are removing bananas. Okay? So, you would say the rate at which the customers are removing bananas is decreasing at a rate of 8.120. Okay? Now here's the thing. This is already a rate. Okay? So how do you measure just rate itself? In this case, people are moving pounds of bananas per what? What does T represent, right? So let's skim through this. I noticed that it's mentioning hours here, okay? Pounds per hour. So if you take the rate of a rate, this is really just pounds per hour, because you're taking the rate of a rate, okay? Or pounds per hour squared if you want to get fancy. But that's basically it. Here's part C. Is the number of pounds of bananas on the display table increasing or decreasing? So think about this logically here. If you're looking at the table, okay, two things are happening. People are grabbing the bananas, they're removing it, and then the employees are stocking it. The only way the display table is going to increase in bananas is if the employees are working harder than the customers. Okay? Once again, if the employees are working harder than the customers, the display table will increase in bananas. But if there's an influx of customers grabbing bananas faster than the employees are adding the bananas, then you know the display table will be decreasing in bananas. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to check their rates. We have to check f of 5 and g of 5 and see who's working harder here, okay? So if you check that out, it's going to turn out that, let's take a look. On the scoring guideline, it says g of 5 minus f of 5 comes out negative. So that means that f is larger, meaning that there are more customers removing than there is employees adding. Okay? In the scoring guideline, what they did was they did g of 5 minus f of 5, and that whole value came out negative. Okay? Or you could just compare it, just like how I did here. You're going to find out which one's larger. And if you know which one's working harder, you know exactly what's going to happen to that display table. So because people are removing faster than people are adding it, you know, you can make a conclusion that the display table is decreasing at that particular time. Make sure that you guys include that time there, okay? Here's the last one. How many pounds of bananas are on the display table at t equals 8? Okay, so if you want to know how many bananas are on the table, what do you have to consider? Okay, do you have to consider how much you started out with? Yes. Okay, and then we have to consider how much we accumulated. Okay, so how much did we start out with? Okay, if you read the text, we started out with 50 pounds. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to consider the amount that you accumulated from the customers removing the bananas and the employees adding the bananas. But there's a little twist to this one. The employees are only adding bananas from 3 to 12. So what you want to do is you have to start at 3, but we want to go as far as however far we want to accumulate here. So in this case, it's 8. We're going to go from 3 to 8 for a g of t. But I don't have room here. We have to remove the amount that we accumulated from customers removing the bananas here. So customers can remove bananas starting at 0. So we have to go from 0 to 8 of f of t dt. Again, it's the same thing. The only switch up here is the time that you start. So just keep that in mind there. But you should get 23.347. That's roughly how many pounds of bananas you have on the display table at that particular moment. Okay, that's it.